Our habits and behavior are literally the vehicle that takes us to where we want to go. They are the building blocks of your success. And if I were to break it down to the simplest level possible, it's about increasing the amount of good habits in your life and decreasing the amount of bad habits in your life. Anybody who can do that will see a big change.
Hey there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Larissa and I usually don't look like this at all. I don't even know what this was. I started putting makeup on and then it just became something else entirely, but I don't normally look like this. It is nice to dress up sometimes though, you know? The clip you just saw was from a guy by the name of Nathaniel Drew. And although that video was made a little while ago, what he said really resonated with me, and it actually came at just the right time, actually. I knew I was gonna have to remake this video, which this is the remake, and I found that video while I was outlining this new one, and it just kind of came at the right time because this is exactly what I am trying to do. I've already been working on it for a little while, but I am trying to reinvent myself in 2019. It is already April, actually it's May, tomorrow's May. So I'm kind of late to the party, but it's never too late to make changes and better yourself, so that's okay. So what am I doing to reinvent myself? Well, we'll get into that, but first off, I'm gonna be doing something that seems a little popular right now, but I promise I'm not trying to copy anybody, but basically what I'm going to be doing is every month I'm going to be trying to get rid of a bad habit or introduce a new, better habit in that 30 days. They say it takes on average about 60 days to form a new habit. And the reason why I chose 30 days is because one, I don't think one video every 60 days is gonna cut it on this channel. And two, because 30 days is kind of that halfway point. So if you can make it halfway, then you can totally make it the other halfway. And that's kind of like a motivational thing too. There are a lot of other YouTubers doing this. I think Matt D'Avella is probably one of the most well-known YouTubers. I watch him. I recommend you go watch him. His stuff is super awesome. His style is really cool. And what he's doing is just pretty inspirational overall. So I know I've kind of gone over some reasons why I'm going to do this, but there are some really solid reasons as to why I'm going to be challenging myself to do something new every single month, or develop a new habit, or kick a bad habit every single month. First things first, I know it's going to be difficult, like I mentioned before, and that is kind of the point of this. So with that being said, some of the ways that I'm going to go about making these changes and doing the things that I do probably aren't going to make sense to some of you, but that's because I have to do things a certain way, just because of the way my brain is, or else they won't click, or else these things won't stick. If I just try to copy the way that somebody else did something, that works for them and their schedule and their brain chemistry, especially if they don't have ADHD. But for me, as somebody with ADHD, it's really important that I do things a certain way. So not only am I going to be working on bettering myself in the habits aspect, but I'm also going to be working on bettering myself by figuring out like what works for me and my learning disability, I guess. Yeah. And then there's probably the most obvious reason, which is just to make change in my life and just be better, I guess, like grow into a better person. As you will see if you stick around, which I hope you do, there's gonna be things in my life that I want to improve upon a little bit, and then there's gonna be things that I want to like eradicate completely. So that's what I'm going to be working towards. Some things might resonate with you and some might not. More of the ADHD specific things might not resonate with you if you don't have ADHD. And then some things are going to be generic things that I feel like everybody should try at least once in their life, and that will probably help most everybody. I have reached the end of what I wrote down in my book, so I hope the rest of this video is good. So that's the what and the why, but now I would like to talk about the how. And as Matt D'Avella actually just said in one of his most recent videos, I think it went out like yesterday, he was talking about making sure that if you're gonna do stuff like this, you provide context, because everybody's life is completely different. And he said that that's something that he regrets not doing in some of his videos, is giving context behind his life so that you can better understand, like, are these things gonna work for you or not? As to how I'm going to go about doing this, I don't really know, honestly. I mean, I've already done one of the challenges. I'm not gonna say which one it was, but you'll see if you stick around, it'll be up soon. The main thing is just gonna be documentation. So I do have a bullet journal. That's what you just saw, my bullet journal. and it really helps me kind of sort things out, write things down, track things. I do have apps for that, but it really means something to me when it's in a notebook and I can spend time writing stuff down. So if you want to try doing this along with me, go out and get yourself a bullet journal, or it doesn't even have to be a bullet journal. I will link a bullet journal down below though. I got mine off Amazon, but it could just be like a notebook. It can be whatever you want really, but bullet journals really allow you to be super free with whatever you're writing down. So definitely recommend documenting things, holding yourself accountable. It's really cool to see like pages fill up with all the things that you have done and the accomplishments that you've made. Another way that I'm going to be doing this is just really working from like the most easy order, if that makes sense, like doing it in an order that makes sense for my life. So for somebody else, maybe getting up really early isn't really on your to-do list right away, like it's not top priority, or maybe there's circumstances that inhibit you, I guess that's the word, that inhibit you from getting up really early. So maybe you would start with your diet, or you'd start with meditation, or something that you really want to do. So that's something that I'm going to be doing, is kind of working from the things that are the biggest problems in my life right now that I can realistically see myself doing in the span of a month. Another thing that's really important to think about before you start doing any challenges, and that I'm starting to think about before I do challenges, is I'm really going to be planning things out before I even start the challenge. I don't really have any examples of that right now. I will in my future videos that come out, but definitely planning. So documentation, planning, and then also being realistic about your goals. I think all the things that I wrote down in my list of ways I'd like to better myself in 2019 are pretty realistic goals, and I totally think they're accomplishable, which really helps. It helps with the motivating factor to know that your goals are actually accomplishable, realistic. I don't know what else to say. I think that's it. So I would really like to know from you all, what are some things that you want to do to better yourself in 2019, or what are some things that you have done? Have you tried something like this before? And if you did, how did it go? Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to some of my new subscribers. I'm sorry I haven't put any new stuff out, but I'm working on that along with many other things. But thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Say hi down below. Let me know where you came from, what video you found me on. I think that's super fascinating to find out. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.